Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is permitted by the copyright statute. Listen, remember that all things are alleged and in my opinion. All right, what's up, DonDons? Listen, first, when you come up in the house, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you are not subscribed. Listen, we ain't got to fall out about our opinions, honey, because we all have them, right? And respectfully, you can give your opinion. Listen, we are here to discuss a most recent article made in regards for Carlos King and the reason why his shows don't or still have the same formula and why people are leaving his shows. So we really do have a lot to get into. But again, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you subscribe, and make sure that you bang that notification bell so that you don't miss any time I drop a video or go live. Let's go, baby. All right, period, child. We here to get into it and get into it like none other. So listen, we have all been saying the same thing about Carlos and his shows, okay? Just to give you guys a little bit of information on what I hear that is going on, I think we all knew, or I had told you guys sometime back, that Love and Marriage DC had been renewed. Winter also indicated, I believe it was on Millie Chun's panel, when she was on Millie Chun's panel, she indicated some of the couples were coming back and that they were also looking for new couples. We also know that Winter did leave the show. All right. Winter, since she has been gone, has talked about the pay. She's talked about how she was treated behind the scenes. She's talked about several things. You have Monique of Love and Marriage DC do the same thing. I'd already told you guys that all that baloney that they came out here and said, okay, I get it, because it's like public relations, it's like PR. So you got to make sure that you're saying and doing the right things. Akeisha quit Belle Collective on a live. You have Sheree, who has had issues with Carlos King in the past, and listen, they still claim to be friends, so be it. You've had I don't have her on here, but you also have, oh yes, she is. So Gucci is on here. So Gucci, who also left the show, okay, which was probably going to be her best bet, stating that she was in a not safe environment. And then you had Marie come out as well. And what really irritated me with Marie was, is like, girl, you don't come off to the audience as a likable person. So it is very hard for you to come out here, say certain things, and you be meaning it, and then you come back and backtrack. You walk that thing back. She stated that she wasn't speaking about production when she came out talking about the lawsuit between her and Latrice and how it didn't get any notoriety. Well, honey, you already know what's the tea. You know what's up. So anyway, when it comes to these ladies, they have all said some things. You have Kandi Burruss, who was really good friends with Carlos King, worked in the same office. I mean, just all of the things of the things, and look at where we are now. So, listen, y'all, I want to get into this article because I find this to be very, very interesting when it comes to the show, okay, or when it comes to Carlos King, period. Sorry, not the show. All right. So, as you guys can see, here is the article, and I'm also going to place the article down in the in the description box of this video as well. Yes, honey, let's get into it. Okay, what's going on with Carlos King's shows for years? King has been the standout executive producer of reality television, but more stars from his shows and other projects he's working on, past and present, have spoken out or have left the show. This happened very recent, with two of his stars from Owns Belle Collective exiting that series. Are they simply disgruntled or what's going on? Depends on who you ask. But there is a trend here worth highlighting. Rumors and disclosure have been going on for some time, dating back to his time working with Bravo and Truly Original as a producer on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. He also worked on Bravo's The Real Housewives of New Jersey as a producer as well. As time has gone on, King's reality empire has grown with projects on TV One, on BET, WeTV, and even HBO. And his popularity has grown, so has the mixed responses surrounding some of the shows, both from the cast members and the fans. Let's break down some of the internet chatter over the years from Real Housewives of Atlanta season 9 to present day. What happened in the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 9, and what were the rumors that came after? The Real Housewives of Atlanta's fans will always remember the season 9 fallout between Kandi Burruss and frickin' Frack, Portia Williams, and Phaedra Parks. The three spent the whole season at odds after Burruss' friendship with Parks fell apart seasons before, amid her then husband Apollo Nida going to prison. Burruss voiced her concern for Parks not allowing their young sons to visit Nida during such a long stint. Williams, who'd gone through a contentious divorce on her own, cozied up to Parks to show her support. Simultaneously, Parks began saying things about Burruss and her husband, Todd Tucker. She claimed that Burruss paid Tucker an allowance when he expressed grievances over the lawyer turned reality star not paying him for his work in the infamous Donkey Booty workout DVD. Man, I really remember that DVD. That whole situation was crazy. Burruss' mother, Mama Joyce, said that Parks was being fraudulent. For the most part, Burruss stayed quiet until a tense sit down with Parks, where she accused her of lying about feeling abandoned in their friendship and putting on a face about Nida when she was dating a new man all alone, child. Y'all remember that? Them was a good seasons of Housewives. I ain't gonna lie. Them was the good seasons of Housewives. Williams inserted herself into the argument, and in one of the craziest scenes of RHOA history, she argued with Burruss and alleged that Burruss had a ex-dungeon and that she and Tucker planned to rug and actually assault her. That Tucker was unfaithful and went by an alias of Marvin, and that Burruss was a lesbian. That ain't it's kind of funny now reading it a little bit, but I know back then it wasn't funny to Kandi or nobody else because those are some serious allegations, right? At the season 9 reunion taping, Williams revealed that Parks was behind the rumors that she brought to the forefront. Parks sat quietly as her co-stars and Andy Cohen expressed shock and disdain. She claimed that she repeated something that she heard on camera. Parks exited the show as King would go on to leave the series. For years, internet rumors have alleged that King had a hand in all of the drama, and some believe that his exit from the show after season 9 was not coincidental, child. And they said that Phaedra exited the series. That's such a nice way of saying she was fired. Okay, I mean she may be back now, but it's a nice way of saying she was pretty much fired, honey. However, he has consistently denied a role in the drama and has stated that he left the show on his own accord. He dismisses the rumors in a chat with Married to Medicine star Dr. Heavenly Combs in 2020. He broke his silence on the ordeal, saying that I left the show. I did not get fired. That will always be the dumbest rumor when it comes to that. And it's funny because when you Google anything, I've been fired so many times, and it's like I was on The Apprentice. It's the dumbest rumor out there. I did not get fired. And the other thing about the whole situation that happened season 9, I had nothing to do with that. Let me make that very clear. If that was the case, I wouldn't be here today. I'd be in jail. Let's start there. And that's all I'll say about it. I don't believe Carlos when he be saying that stuff. I really don't. I don't believe it. I believe you have more to do with it than what you make it out to be. But listen, y'all let me know how y'all feel about that in the comments, because we finna keep on going with this video though, child, or going with this article. But I definitely think he had something to do with it. Okay, it's weird. In a 2022 interview with Page Six, he got candid about being a Real Housewives of Atlanta producer during the Parks Williams Burruss drama. He said to see this rumor escalate during season 9 without any sort of hard facts was very weird as well, because we kept asking ourselves as producers, where is this going? We had no idea where it came from, but because it was reality, we followed it. And to see how it has accumulated at the reunion was just very uncomfortable, to say the least. So, child, let's get into the Kandi Burruss Tucker of it all, okay? So, his relationship with Kandi Burruss and Escape biopic development. Initially, Burruss and King's relationship seemed unaffected by the season 9 RHOA drama. I disagree with that. But it was later revealed that Burruss ended her personal and professional working relationship with King after she alleged that he had discovered, after, I'm sorry, that she had discovered that he purchased the rights to an escape biopic without her or her group members' knowledge or consent. In a 2023 interview with the Shade Room, Burruss detailed how she learned of what allegedly happened. She said, a friend of mine is a producer or director. Me and my husband, Todd, were talking to him, and I said it would be dope if Escape had a movie about our lives. And our friend was like, "Oh, they already are doing that movie." We were like, "What do you mean? Who's already doing the movie?" And he was like, "Yeah, I just took a meeting about that." He told me the network or whatever. So I called my agent and I was like, "What is going on?" He looked into it and found out that it was true and that a network was doing it. It took us a couple more weeks to find out who had put it all together. Come to find out, it was Carlos, who was supposed to be a producer, director, and whatever of the movie. Right before I found out it was him, one of his producers that he worked with reached out to my mom and was like, "Oh yeah, we're trying to do a documentary about the girl groups, and we wanted to get information to interview my mom. So you're going to do all of that, and you don't even tell me?" King has opted to stay silent on specifics of the matter and would about uh, rather talk with her about it. He has denied her claims. So let's go ahead and get into the Love and Marriage DC drama of it all. Now, Monique Samuels will go down in reality television history for two things: her physical altercation with Candace Dilla Bassett in season 5 of The Real Housewives of Potomac, and Bindergate during the reunion. After her exit from the show, she says that she fostered a relationship with King and began um thinking of ways that they could work together. But this year, she alleged that King, without using his name, reeled her in using the black card, noting that he'd handle her with more care than Bravo due to the being kinfolk. Okay, skin folk, kinfolk type of situation. Yeah, that. But she was dissatisfied with her edit in season 1 of OWN's Love and Marriage DC. She claimed that she was used for promotion of the show. I believed him when he was using the black card, and he did me worse than the white folks. I was like, he could have at least waited till the second season to trash me, she said during an interview with the Jay Hill podcast. That's the Dear Wifey podcast, I believe. Oh, no, no, no. Jay Hill is not the Dear Future Wifey podcast. It's literally the Jay Hill podcast. It was just like, we got her, dog her out, and it was like my name was used to gain the audience, and I felt like I got trashed out on that show. They didn't show any of the real moments where I gave more context to what was happening. She since listen here. She since vowed to never do reality television again. What this article did leave out, in my opinion, is the things that Winter has been saying about Carlos and about Love and Marriage DC production, and kind of the things that she had been through. Okay, it was just really weird to see how child. Anyway, not to mention also they had a situation with Sherelle as well, Sherelle Duncan, the Duncans, where she, called Carlos King out as well for the things that he did concerning their last or their most recent reunion. Okay, she laid him out about that reunion. Okay, child. So now let's get into Love and Marriage Huntsville and King's relationship with Melody Sheree Rogers of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Whether you are a fan or not, Melody Sheree Rogers is the bona fide star of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Without her, some fans would say that the show doesn't stand a chance. But the way things seem to look between her and King right now, the show may be undergoing a massive change sooner than later. King and Rogers were initially two peas in a pod, but things took a turn when she appeared on a live edition of his podcast. No matter what Holt has allegedly done, King has stated publicly his affinity for Holt and pushed the idea of a reconciliation between the two. King has maintained that Holt will not be fired because he, along with Rogers, helped bring the show together when they were married. Recently, Melody, Sheree, and King's social media revealed that they are no longer following one another. This comes after she made a comment on her TikTok that fans believe was direct shots at King. When you are in a leadership position or so-called leadership position or executive position, there is just certain things that you're supposed to do. Melody Cherie said on a TikTok live stream, you don't talk about the people that are putting money and checks in your pocket. I've never seen the owner of 7th Avenue talk about people um, talk about the people putting money in their pockets. Melody Cherie also criticized behaviors she characterized as self-destructive, adding that all they know is self-destruction. Later, she defended her remarks in an Instagram story, doubling down on her earlier statements. Child, now this is where I really truly believe that Melody is done. I think the preview of the reunion said a lot. Okay, you know what I'm saying, especially with Kimmy, speaking about Melody's body, and I'm not quite sure I understand that in any sense because Kimmy, you walking around here crying and upset. You've been messy and you've been that not that girl all season long, and then all of a sudden you want to cry when somebody bring up your husband. Girl, the internet was talking about that red lipstick or that lipstick. Child, Kimmy, girl. Anyway, if Melody is gone and the Scots have to run the show, then let it be what it is, honey. Let it be what it is. You know what I'm saying? Let it absolutely be what it is. I also would like to put into perspective that Carlos also, when he brought Melody, because this is just me. This is me adding this in here, right? It's not the article. I'm adding this in here. He knew that Melody would bring eyes and people out to his first initial podcast date, right? Um, for him to allow, and this is why I don't have a specific responsibilities from him because of the simple fact that he knew exactly what she expressed, and I think he used that moment to get her knowing that she was vulnerable in that moment, describing everything that happened, and then you pretended like you did not know. And then when you pretended like you did not know, now it's the situation of you removing it from the actual YouTube portion of the podcast that you put on there. Have to go to other people who I think that you striked because they initially showed that scene of Melody crying. I think that's why you struck them people. Let's just call a thing a thing. You took it out of the video, and that was the main thing that a lot of people were talking about was what she was saying about not filming with Martell and Martell's situation. Okay, like that. Anyway, it was silly, but I thought I would go ahead and add that piece in there. All right, so now let's go ahead and get into Belle Collective. Okay, let's get into Belle Collective. So, Belle Collective exit of Akeisha Cologne and Soguchi Williams. Now, another popular series from King's production company owned Belle Collective, the end of the season saw the exits of two cast members, Akeisha Cologne and Sophia Soguchi Williams. Cologne exited during a during a YouTube live stream, leaving him and his co-stars of the night with their jaws or mouths ajar, honey. It says that the season saw the family drama with Williams and following an explosive fight between Soguchi and her ex-husband's ex-wife, Selena. I think I said that wrong. Okay. So Gucci's husband's ex-wife, Selena, my bad. Now, the family was estranged due to the stepdaughters having no contact with their father. At the reunion, King blasted Soguchi's husband, JJ, for not stepping in and handling the situation between the two women. From the start, which everybody agreed on. But his handling of the colognes is what sparked backlash. Akeisha was never welcomed with open arms by the other Bells. Both she and her husband was accused of thinking they were bigger fish because of their lifestyle. Things reached a breaking point in the season finale after the men came to a brawl. Some viewers criticized King's handling of the reunion, feeling he's unfairly blamed Willie for tensions that had built up over seasons. Now, let me add my 2 cents in right here. So, I just want to say this. I feel like the exit of the two should be an eye opener for Carlos to tighten the ship around there, tighten things up. That's the way I feel about it. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's what's going to happen, but I feel like with changes even being made to Love and Marriage Huntsville, your #1 show on OWN, and all of the other shows, you should tighten up, sir. You got to tighten up ship. Belle Collective is a really good show that does not get the notoriety that I honestly think it deserves. So I do agree with the fact that, again, it is not shown. Like, I don't know, this season was cut short and there was just a lot going on within the season. In case if you guys did not know, Latrice did do an interview trying to clear the air, but it did not look good for her. And I honestly believe that her and Marie will probably be back at it again. I don't think that the cordialness will last long because they got to figure out somebody to come for it. Now, if they add new bells to the scene, then maybe they'll come for them. But I have a really good feeling that Latrice is gonna be on the outs and others. I think it's gonna be crazy. But we're gonna stay tuned and see. They have been renewed for another season, so let's see how it goes. So let's get into his YouTube show. You know how I feel about Carlos being on YouTube. I don't like it, to be honest, because I feel like he has taken a lot away from the creativity of other people. Have your YouTube, do you. But I also feel like the reason why there are a lot of eyes on your show is due to YouTubers or content creators actually reviewing the show and bringing light to the show, regardless of how we may feel. But let's get into this last piece of this. So it says, King's podcast and weekly recaps are only adding more fuel to the fire. In addition to interviews with reality stars, he recaps his shows and others with guest hosts, which many feel is a step too far as an entertainment executive. As his presence grows publicly, many are pushing for him to make a choice, be a public figure or an executive entertainer or producer. For some, both roles cannot exist, and at the same time, there are some that think that it can. Now, Carlos's influence on reality TV is undeniable, but as more stars speak out, the question remains: is he uplifting the people he works with or prioritizing ratings at their expense? Only time will tell how King's legacy will be shaped by these ongoing controversies and conversations. And that's the end of the article. But I just wanted to bring this to you guys because I do feel like there were a lot of things that were talked about in this article, but I also feel like that there were things that were not discussed in this article. And I just think at this particular time, y'all, time will tell. Time will absolutely tell. I don't Listen, a lot of people think that Love and Marriage Huntsville can succeed without Melody. I don't know that I will be watching. I know for a fact that I probably will not be watching the next season just because of how the show has been. I'm so tired of Ken and Trish and Marquez. I'm tired of a lot of people. So I just feel like in this sense, it's just a wait and see how this plays out. Wait and see how this thing goes. But y'all let me know how y'all feel down in the comment section below. Y'all need to make sure y'all hit that like button because it's free and we ain't got to fall out about our opinions or nothing around here. I'm just bringing to you what's public, okay? You can go look up this article yourself. All right. With that being said, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Please make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you bang that notification bell so that you don't miss any time that I actually upload a video, go live, or do any of that, okay? Y'all, please, please, please make sure y'all let me know how y'all feel down in the comment section and come with some respect, okay? Come with some respect. All right. I'll talk to y'all later and I'll talk to y'all next video. Peace.